We're joined by Indiana Congressman Marlin Stutzman, who serves on House Budget. Welcome, Congressman. It is great to see you again. Congratulations, I think, on going back in. Big ideas, big needs, small majority. How do you get it done?
Well, thanks, Trey. Great to be with you this evening. And I think one thing that is for sure, and of course, I miss seeing you in Congress. There's a lot of witnesses that come to Congress, and they don't miss seeing Trey Gowdy on the dais questioning them. I think that what we're really seeing here, it's not infighting. It's just debating and making sure that we get this right and that we don't stumble coming out of the gate. And, this is a monumental opportunity for us as Republicans, because not only do we have a great leader in the White House, but we've got the House and the Senate, and this is an opportunity to get this right. And, you and I, when we were in Congress together, we didn't have a White House that talked about cutting spending. We didn't have a leader in the White House that said we're going to start getting to a balanced budget and reducing our deficits, or any executive that was even going to look at government spending. But we have that in President Trump. And Speaker Johnson is just pulling all opinions together. And that's one thing I really appreciate about him, is that he's listening to each member and saying, hey, let's get this right. And then when we go, we're going to all go together.
Congressman, does President Trump have a preference, and can he help Speaker Johnson kind of coalesce the, shall we say, various personalities that may exist within the GOP conference? It is not a monolithic group. Sometimes they don't sing out of the same hymnal. What role can President Trump play to help get this done the way he or y'all want it to be done?
Yeah, absolutely. President Trump has such a great ability to bring people together and sit down, talk about whatever differences there are. And I think that, we all as members, we're representing our districts. We want to make sure that we get this right. But President Trump is a great leader. But Mike Johnson is also another great leader who's bringing, each part of our conference together and saying, what is really important to you? Let's get these numbers right. Also, when we set those numbers, they have to be assigned to different committees that are going to then go to work and make sure they find the savings. And so there's just a lot of upfront conversations that are happening right now. So again, like I said, I wouldn't call it infighting. I'd really call it, doing the hard work right now. That way, when we go to the floor, the work is done. And also, as you know, the budgeting process is so convoluted in Washington, and so we're having to work through Senate rules, we're having to work through the House rules, and of course then you throw a Congressional Budget Office in there, and the way that they score certain policy measures, it seems backwards to us, because it's not the way that we as Americans talk at the kitchen table about our budget. It's a very convoluted way of setting up rules and a process in Washington, and so we're having to work through that. But one of the things that I know will happen is that President Trump is leading. The House is there to help follow and to support him, to make sure that we enact his policies. A lot of discussions right now about taking these executive orders that he's signed and enacting them into law, and working with the Senate. I believe we're going to get the big work done that the American people are expecting.
You were a spending hawk the first time when we served together. I think you used to eat dinner out of a vending machine while others were at lavish restaurants. So you've always been a spending hawk. I am glad to see you back serving the people of Indiana, and very glad that you're on the Budget Committee. Thank you for joining us on a Sunday night.
You bet. Thanks, Trey.